Let's bring in our reporters on the ground. Nqobile Madlala is in Durban and Lethiwe Mdluli also in Durban. Let's start with Nqobile. Nqobile, you were attending a prayer session for slain rapper or artist Keenan aka Forbes in Durban today. Who was in attendance and what did they say about the artist and how he died?
Well, yes, Masego, I did indeed attend the prayer, and it was really sad to see how difficult it is for many artists who have seen the loss of AKA. We do understand that he was in the province to celebrate his birthday, and he cut his hair just before going in to have dinner in the same area, the place that I'm standing in front of, Wish on Florida. So a lot of artists coming here to leave flowers and to celebrate whom they called a legend to themselves. It's been very difficult for them. They're saying that they feel unsafe because of what has occurred. They have called for government to do something. They have called for the police to do something, and they really would like some justice being served. They have passed on condolences to the families, to the fans, and to the people that knew him very closely, saying that they can't believe that this happened in KZN, and it sends out a wrong message as well to the industry in terms of what is happening, as well as a wrong message about what they're doing. They are entertainers, and so to have something like this happen is very, very difficult. We have heard also from Arts and Culture saying that they are going to ensure that they continue to put pressure in Nhlanhla Mkhonazi, who is the commissioner, to try and break this case. We have also seen members of the organized crime also coming in here. They have been here for quite some time. From the day that we first arrived, they've been here. It continues. We keep seeing them going around and speaking to people and sort of gathering the evidence. And so the artists have now prayed, celebrated AKA's lives, shared their memories. And Tira was one of the people that we spoke to, and this is what he had to say.
Oh man, I think just the state of crime in the country is horrible. I mean, government needs to do something about our safety in the country. I mean, it's not about a celebrity or what, it's about a normal person walking in the streets. How safe are we? And that's have a lot of influence on how we're going to get tourists coming to the country to spend their money. Is South Africa one of the safest places to visit and enjoy your holiday or not? You know, so if we're going to have such killings, that doesn't paint a good picture for us. So we just hope government really do something about it, whether there is going to be a minister of crime or what, but we need something done about our safety in this country.
All right, let's also bring in Manqoba Mchunu, who is in Guatemala for us. But let's start with Lethiwe in KZN. She was in the High Court in Pietermaritzburg for us, covering the sentencing proceedings of the infamous Cleveland's 8. That group, rather, was found guilty last year of numerous murders and attempted murders that happened in Cleveland's and Umlazi between August 2014 and March 2016. Now, Lethiwe, what has been said so far in mitigation and aggravation of sentence?
Well, Masego, the matter has been postponed to 16 February, which is Thursday, for sentencing. Today we heard arguments from the advocates that were representing some of the convicted. We heard from advocate Martin Kroch, who is representing accused number 1, who's the former police officer, and also accused number 5. Now, during his argument, he did say that he believes that his clients deserve the minimum sentence because of the time that they've spent in custody, and also because of the fact that both of these men were first-time offenders. He's made the argument that because of this, they were upstanding citizens before these crimes that they've been found guilty of, and he believes that the courts should really consider the fact that these men are also breadwinners in their homes. Now, you'd remember that during the years of 2014 and 2016, the Cleveland's 8, the men that we saw here today, were accused of murders and also attempted murders at the Cleveland hostel in Umlazi, and they are also accused of wreaking havoc to the residents at that hostel. These accusations and these crimes were committed by them in order for them to gain control of that hostel. This trial has been ongoing for years. Some of the witnesses went missing. Some of them backtracked, saying that they do not want to testify against these men because they were alleging that they were very dangerous. And also because of COVID-19, the matter was postponed numerous times. But last year in October, the men were found guilty on various crimes. And during that time, we did hear that the police officer who's said to be the mastermind of this whole ordeal was not facing any murder charges. Now, Martin Kroch, the advocate who's representing this police officer, did say that because this police officer is not facing any serious charges, he's asking for a suspended sentence for the police officer and also accused number 5. We also heard from advocate Franklin, who's representing the rest of the accused. She's also asking for the minimum sentence, but the state lawyer, or the state advocate rather, Advocate Peva, did say that these men were hitmen. So basically people were hiring them to kill people at the Cleveland hostel, and he considers these crimes quite serious, and he is asking for a life sentence. But of course we will hear on Thursday whether these men will be getting the life sentence that the state has asked for, or they will be getting suspended sentences as their representatives have asked for the courts. But earlier on, when Advocate Martin Groch, who's representing the police officer Mdluli, or former police officer should I say, and also accused number 5, while he was making those submissions during court, this is what he had to say.
So as in the case of accused number 5, I would argue that the defence have shown substantial and compelling circumstances which can deviate from the minimum sentence, and secondly that the accused has been adequately punished by serving, or not serving, by being in custody as it were for 5 years.
Kosenkantolo njengoba ngivele ngishilo namanje ngisamile iphuzini lokuthi njengoba bengikhalele unumber 5 vele phela ummangalelo lo usefana nomuntu osejezile ngokwesikhathi asethe wasihlala elinde ukuqhutshwa icala leli njengoba icala ke lizoqhutshwa manje.
And taking that into account, I would submit that a suitable sentence would be the same as accused number 5, totally suspended sentence, but perhaps more years involved. In other words, 10 years wholly suspended.
All right, now Manqoba, another protest over electricity, this time in Guatemala. Residents blaming the city instead of Eskom, but they've also looted some stores.
Certainly, Masiko, the situation quite tense here at Guatemala. In fact, we understand that the protest started over the weekend. It has been going on up until now, and residents saying that this protest has been really started by the issue of power here in the community, constant power outages in the community. They're saying that they have been subjected to being in the dark for many days now. I think 3 days, they said, just in the past few days because of a transformer that had exploded in this area. And these community members, Masiko, saying that the protest, of course, will continue up until their demands have been met. They want that transformer to be replaced. But we did see the protest, rather, Masiko, turning violent earlier on, with a customer care center being torched by some of those protesters. But also we did see some looting taking place in 2 of the areas, White City as well as Tembo Village, where we saw a ShopRite outlet being vandalized, and some of the protesters had gone in. In fact, Masiko, I'm just going to ask my colleague Mohammed Kadi just to show you what's happening on this side. The protesters have now tried to make their way to the N17 freeway to try and blockade the traffic. They had done that on numerous occasions just a few minutes ago, and what we're seeing there are police firing stun grenades just to try and get them off the N17 freeway, because you understand, Masiko, this is one of the busy freeways here. So the Metro Police as well as the South African Police Service are here on the ground. The streets here are still barricaded, and many of the shops and businesses have been affected. They've been closed. And this protest, as you can see, showing no signs of dying down anytime soon. But residents say saying that they want their issue to be resolved. There was an MMC earlier on of roads and transport here who tried to defuse the situation, but they rejected him and they asked him to leave the area. They said that they want the minister, rather the MMC of energy, to come and address their concerns. And so, as you can see, the tension's still quite high here in the area. But earlier on, I spoke to one resident about what it is that they are protesting for, and this is what he had to say.
Sidiniwe la ethema basitshela ngetransformer siwumphakathi sonke lesikhathi ngetransformer beyikuphi and basicimela igesi why basifaka i6 hours umasipala afaka i6 hours itransport basitshela ngetransformer itransformer namhlanje igesi ayicima ikuphi le transformer wayingawi namhlanje ngoba sadoltona namhlanje wayingawi and nalama account i2 ukuthi sibhadalele abafu abamambethu abafa 2020 fanele ukuthi sibhadalele makuphele DA mayiphele masibele sicela i-flat rate abantu abasebenzi la lokishini bazoyithatha phi balokubhadala i-rent.
All right, that was your All Angles Lunchtime update on eNCA with reporters Manqoba Mchunu, Nqobile Madlala and Lethiwe Mdluli. Thank you, team. Let's leave it there for now.